Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets. I actually saw this the same day as Dunkirk too, and to be honest, I thought they're about on par. Valerian in the City of 1,000 Planets is a movie from the get-go you could tell was gonna bomb at the box office. You could just tell. I mean, I went and saw it anyway, and honestly, it didn't really deserve to. It's not some great movie, but it's better than a lot of movies that don't bomb at the box office. So for such a visual effects heavy sci-fi, so far in the future movie with all this crazy space stuff going on, the effects are actually really damn good. The hundreds of millions of dollars they poured into the effects definitely paid off, and I appreciate that from my 2-hour viewing of the movie, but they're not getting it back, and it was a terrible business decision on their part. The coolest part of this movie is the intro. They have Space Odyssey playing, and it's like this montage of the evolution of humanity going from where we are now into space travel to like getting farther and farther into the future, and they just keep shaking hands with all these alien guys, like all these first contacts, and it's a different dude in a different uniform on the United States space station or whatever, and they just keep meeting all these aliens and shaking all their hands, and it was a really neat little moment, and I really liked it. Core of the movie itself is two special agents. You have Valerian, who is Dane DeHaan, and then you have his partner, Cara Delevingne. Don't remember her name, it's been a few months since I've seen the movie, but she's the CGI belly dancer from Suicide Squad. And she was great. She's really hot, and she's also really good in the movie. I liked watching her. She was an interesting character. Despite the fact that she is so young, I did buy her as this like experienced agent in the future thing. I thought that worked for her. Not so much for Dane DeHaan. Dane DeHaan plays a really good snobby, rich kid villain dude. He does not play a good action hero. I do not buy him as a likable action hero, and I don't buy that Cara Delevingne finds anything to like about him. He was the weakest link in the movie. And as a CGI space sci-fi fun adventure movie, they go to a bunch of different places, and some of them are fun, some of them aren't. And there's a bunch of sequences, and this movie, if I can sum it up, is basically Star Wars plus Avatar. Like, literally, they even have their own Millennium Falcon disc-shaped ship that they're flying around. And Avatar, because of the whole thing about the species, and the government military is bad, and these, like, people on their gentle planet need to be left alone, and there's this political thing. Clive Owen's in the movie. I almost forgot Clive Owen's in the movie. And he was great at the beginning, until he turns into the most over-the-top villain. There I go again. Something bad I've ever seen. I am so bad at explaining stuff. Why do any of you watch me? Clive Owen is a very over-the-top villain. That's better. Let's say that. Let's not use so much hyperbole, because he's not the worst villain I've ever seen. And there is a scene near the end. I'm kind of spoiling the movie a little bit, if you care. There is a really good flashback scene with Clive Owen in, like, military command, like a just giant-ass ship battle, like humanity on the brink of extinction. And Clive Owen's all like, use the super good nuke weapons, and the soldier's like, are you sure, sir? And he's like, yes. And was like, okay, and you can feel like he feels bad about it. He's like, I know might be the only way we can win, but still, this is like war crime size things. And that becomes a big issue later in the movie, and I did like that thing there. And I'm like, yeah, honestly, it's probably what I would have done too. I mean, I wouldn't have covered it up and sold someone else out. I would have owned up to it. But I do feel that was a necessary military decision, and one the United States government has made in the past. And I feel that decision was necessary as well. There's my World War II politics for you. At the end of the day, this is a cheesy movie. The movie does steal a lot from other movies. There isn't much originality on its own. It just kind of sucks a bunch of other properties together into one movie. And I know it's based off a book. I didn't read the book. I don't care. But Dane DeHaan is the main character, and he's the titular character, and I didn't like him. And that right there is most of the downfall of your movie. So I would give Valerian the City of 1,000 Planets a 6 out of 10.
6 out of 10?